Haji, you Dr. Mui, I am info, you understand? I need to go for, you understand? Last week, we told Kashajan, you understand, to meet the people to the optics of it. At the end of the day, the impact, you know, it's meant people believe that you go, you know, it's a mole kacha. Amanke ko ye fem for fun, but I nyanta ke lamoy lora, you understand? Pour ye mol lamoy ila bata, you understand? Ila feta munne man soto je munne nyanta soto le ila feta bank president ye mako nyame. Ni lamoy ite fana ye na yaje ko ye mimbe fo ite ye mim keno yake. Ye la balul nyal fali, you understand? Ye la, you know, ye nyato ta soto, you know? Mol ko toni nyanta kela wonyama. Bari iba fola ko amanke wonyama. Nyimmo political, you know, tool leti because ye state resources use pour kata ka campaign ke. Mol buka impact soto je, you know, bank duol dingol man impact soto je. Bari lafta fanang ye durama ay nying example min fo nyen loan andong ay ming explain jan. Nte de nga jere ko ye batale nati wo mol you understand wo musola min ka sono ko je ye batale nati ye bari imam teng lafa you understand ila balunya ite ye woje nyaadi andum wo nyanta falen na nyaadi
first of all abaraka bake I think doctor definitely I more dive to the inside of you know the wastefulness of this government barole masakunda like mo meta ka fole kanyola kuma kawle 50 ro watu wataka kutana nyo tulokono but nyima sakuna ngamera even the last board of this country should know that this government is not a government me along abe molu nya fitala ko le amina along ko le be ko kambi coming to the issue of this meet the farmer store or if you like meet the people store yes one can say constitutional requirement lemu mana it is the constitutional mandated to nimanya na birin jawara watu la aka kenu but ninto niajibe watolu comparing those days and be ibajela ko ninto nyi hana tra na fa fa soto na fa do ata bakele because let's say jawara watolu until kan de kujuma fo watolu but it was a need for such engagements from the public servants, in fact the chief public servant down to the grassroots may along be represent ka because what more communication is not to where we are today. If in tele abukada sandu sado le tele sodo ji abukola bak radio phone me radio abukala mo le privilege balam pour ka radio phone je mobulla o watul ko non whatsapp man soto there's no Instagram no TikTok
no internet no
social media connection so
to get president
exactly so the intention of the particular section to authorize the president to have the such engagement I think the intention was genuine and the purpose was definitely needful at the time.
Yeah.
Okay. But we have Masakunda, do not you think for the president to have first-hand information without relying on appointed public officials. Because Banco Dimole Cartefa President that gave him the power or had the power to appoint ministers. Minister Ole Carfana Mako do kola. So Pukal Mantapunda Tanya Jibe to know whether the government is definitely representing people atafana loi intelligent loi o chance de la pura ta ani wo mola interaction soto ate mu ne ke kan ani wo mola ko la ko muneti ate be ko men ke kan what type of impact as ro mo ko laje ninta sa soto no this is what was the intention of the constitution
right
okay but since that there was a window to abuse it governments subsequently capitalized on the same constitutional even though there are changes in how communication has been, handled globally. Because today, in Bekafan, the world is a global village. Means that what is happening in the Gambia here in seconds, you can have it in US. What is happening in US in seconds, you can have it in the Gambia. So President Oko, he is the most informed person in this country. So that means that how I'm living in Sarepras with regard to roads, healthcare sector, education, agriculture, issues of women gardening and youth empowerment, unemployment, the backway issues, the president is being informed about these issues. He knows them. He knows them very well. So even though the particular clause is maintained in the constitution, means that it's a requirement, but it does not make it that if by force for you to go with a big entourage in that toll, when the motive is clean and clear. But I'm talking about the window that they want to politicize. Now it's constitutionally mandated. I have to go because the constitution says at least once in a year. So you capitalize on that gap. You use public funds to go and propagate your own personal agenda. President, current president, can be. Because Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Education, Minister of any ministry you see here, they have directorate in the regions. So in that this toll should not even be more than 4 million. They want to go and listen to the people's concern. It can be 4 or 5 million. No matter what inflation system you have here, it can be 4 or 5 million. When president it's not easy personal move, but a president and a technician, not even the ministers, because the ministers are represented in agriculture in the URR, and they know better than the minister. So now the president of the force and influence, the director of education in URR knows better how education is in URR than the minister. But why we put it all? Because the minister and the president are having cabinet meeting every Friday. So, and the president, the president might not rely on the minister alone. He wants to go at the grassroots. And that's where he should rely on the director of education in the regional level and agriculture at the regional level to guide him to the communities. He said the freely without being too partisan. But NCMM forum, that's it. Let's just budget. Because 52 million, let's say, currently, we estimate that they want to go. But actually, just look at the gap. Within the election year 2021, look at the gap there. The subsequent budget for it was down. But in 2021, it was inflated. But that was election year. So one can assume, because of that, that intention to win that election, they use monies out of the taxpayers' money to get what they want politically. Means that it was not meant for only the farmer store, but other issues were involved. So I will remember for. That's one, just a tip of an iceberg. But even the messaging, let me just conclude this. The messaging, I make a Sunday. I was around there. Alcalo they wanted to raise the concerns of the communities, the challenges they are facing in terms of road infrastructure and other issues. President Alcalo Alcalo for Garwale. Yes, of course. He was expecting for them to praise him on the work that he has done there, but not to raise concerns of what they are facing through there in their daily lives.
I bet you that Alcalo might not speak on the people again.
Of course. And that automatically has changed the tune in other meetings.
Yes. Oh, so everybody is being.
Of course, my Alcalo in my village was pressurized to speak on the concerns of the village in Sareperaso. But he was forced to speak the tune the president wanted to hear. You can even see that in his body language. Because I can tell you, all in the after from that big budget, that 40 million, you estimate something because among is for all. The community were taxed. The government himself went to our village and called on the community to mobilize funds for themselves so that they can support this store. And $215,000 was mobilized from my own people, the poor people that the president was meant to go and listen to their concerns, the challenges they face in their daily life, so that his government can solve it. They indeed use it otherwise to get funds from the one who is struggling to get a jimbo for him or herself.
So they have to contribute to support.
They have to contribute to support the meeting in Sareperaso. And that costs $215,000.
Wow.
Let me tell you how. Every woman in my village was taxed to pay $100. Every woman, every married woman was taxed to pay $100. You mean that the toll is not a toll to listen to the concerns of the poor people. The toll was meant to mobilize crowd. You could see that in GRTs. In every meeting they did, GRTs will document it, but we make it a crowd attractive zones. Crowd attractive zones. Just to deceive the audience, to deceive the citizens. My village, you expect that my village, the president to have a meeting there, to meet the farmer store. You expect my family to sit down at home, they don't go and participate? If they go indeed because it's their monies. And we encourage them to go. Sareperaso. But the president and their people, his people know very well that village there, what I have, Haji, what I have there is only me who can change that there. The big crowd they are seeing, means that they want to use the crowd to deceive other people outside of Pirasu that the president is still being loved. But is that a meeting of Basse constituency alone? Basse alone is having 38 villages. That's a combination of Basse and Jimara. How many villages in Jimara? So if you have funds to send vehicle transport for them, they will eventually appear in the meetings. So the only thing that will buy the crowd to happen is to have the money. Which myself, you are not MPP, I'm not MPP. But our members of parliament, endorse a budget to support the tour on our behalf. For what reason? For the president to go and listen to a concern. But I'm with it. And the tour was meant for the president to hear first-hand information of pro-ammonia. But instead of encouraging first-hand information,
whether it's favorable or not,
yes,
you listen to
the
opportunity to say their mind.
Exactly.
Then you can also do a follow-up to ascertain whether what they're saying is politics or it's reality.
Absolutely.
Then you see how you can help to solve.
That was the intention. That's supposed to be the purpose of it. But the purpose is defeated. So what I can tell you is, Gajukul talked about Limbambulu. But guess what? This government has mobilized funds, through a grant from France government, to support rice irrigation, year-round farming in URR. Limbambulu, Damfakunda, and Alohare, Sotuma Sambang are part of that project. 15 million euro, nobody knows where it goes. You're talking about loan, but this one is a grant. 15 million euros, nobody knows to date where that money goes.
And it's supposed to be
the French ambassador came here from Senegal. I was standing at Alohare to look at where the project is supposed to start. As we speak, nobody knows.
So were they able to show him something?
A bush was sold. The bush was sold there. But as we speak, there's nothing that happened there.
A bush.
Of course, I can take you up to there. It's a bush. So Limbambulu is just one in many cases that this government is only trying to put on documents to attract funders to give us loans, but those loans are falling into individual personal pockets, and those people are the president's close associates. That's why when he started saying the Limbambulu and the Damfakunda, I know the person. After we speak, Barrow will follow a kafu ko ta mintole. And later on, ya product for dual, this burfur silote. Put your findings. The same people are the ones through that Pabi Ford, they came in there, who have no knowledge of road construction. And then somebody, State House, the person is at State House, after we speak. As a cook. End up being a road contract. So
the person was a cook.
Of course.
So the person is now a
he's still a cook at State House. But just to give play an interest so that the most benefit
okay.
They gave him a percentage of that road construction. And that was the one connected to that Fakunda issue. Later then State House when cooking so we know a lot about them. But Lele, this
so all it takes is you have to be affiliated.
Of course, you have to be affiliated. Just look at the issue he's talking about here. Who is the supplier of the liquid lubricants? Who is the supplier? It's a strong MPP top executive member. And guess what? When we like MPP, Barrow is single development somebody. But not also local. We will Kataji Nalman Katify, Intim Barote Movinaman, Nalman Katify Baroe, Intim Monalajang. I mean, yes, J. Amanta Molkande, I be Fokane. But after the Fokane, the Malafatilla Woje. And that's why when you see the auditor is talking about in only 3 years, 110 billion was embezzled through theft, lack of following process and procedures, and conflict of interests. So this government is not there to deliver in anything that is in public interest. But that's why always when I go back to double one statement I come in for, this government is led by interest groups. So anything that they are doing, it has to be an interest of somebody, an individual. And that individual has to show Barrow himself his interest. So there's no interest of what we call national interest. It's a matter of me, you being friends, and we are able to convince the president based on his own pocketing something from us, then we are good to go. Because I can and you can see that when some imams visited him here around 2019, I mean that people like Amor San will go to He only appointed his successors, and their one trip, they were able to give him $25,000. But personally, Barrow.
Who gave it to him?
He said it.
Oh, okay.
The successors of Suwaneh and Hussein Dabo. Okay. They are only one trip, they were able to give him personally $25,000.
Okay.
Personally.
I understand now.
They are one trip. That tells you that he is not interested in what brings development for the Gambia. He's only interested if you go and go, what is my share? And the Sia government will never work in the interest of that public. So, you know, the retard that Gambia is going through today, it's not a matter of whether we have the resources. Go back to April 5th, 2019. Gambia is not an agriculture minister because of his competency or his know-how. He's in agriculture because of his words to lobby for a position, and he promised government he's going to deliver. Listen to his Balakunda, where he's encouraging the communities to engage in cross-border mobilization, particularly in the Senegal Oriental. These are the type of words Barrow want to hear. In April 2019, he said the only language that UDP can hear is a language of violence. That's the person who is a minister today. And he said Barrow has to speak that language. Go and look at that post. And he tagged you there, MC. At the time, you and I were in the 3 years. You were tagged. Yes, that's good tag. You see 3 years. MC, no could UDP. Man UDP raw. Man UDP. Why dem dafa wone mu reference UDP pour mu na askan bi wona len comme li UDP la. The UDP talks can hear only a valid language. So Mr. President, please speak that language to them. And subsequently we seen him aligning himself to MPP. Then from MPP now a Minister of Agriculture. No surprise. Nobody surprised because that's what the president want to hear. So they made the farmers to, I can tell you, it's just a kind of maybe wasting our energy a bit. But it's something that we definitely Barrow is working on achieving his goal. Because remember 2026, the same constitution exists and will empower him to go for the same tour. It's not November. So he will do it around October or around August. Then he has 1, 2, 3, 4 steps ahead of us, the oppositions. From there, IEC will call for campaign. In that 3 weeks also, he has already done his first 3 weeks or for 1 month. He went there to do what thing he thinks is good for him. Then from there he go and IEC also make an official announcement of campaign period.
Yeah, the campaign window.
The campaign window. Look at this current one. He had a massive rally in Sukuta. That rally followed by this tour. The rally that was happening in Sukuta, one can say where did they get the funds? Because when you get a tour like this, one expects that you go for your tour because you will obviously get to Sawaneh. But why the tour a week than this made the farmers tour? Where did they get the money? Where did they get the money? And the trend will continue. And this is where Gambians, including oppositions, has to play the cards. If we are really interested in changing the status quo, it is not how we are going.
So when critics say the playing field is not level,
no, it's far from level. It's far from level. Just look at the election bill, the election, I call it election act now because it's just append his signature, then it became an act. What Jammeh did not do is what Barrow does. When I call him worse than Jammeh, people think that I'm over-exaggerating. He is worse than Jammeh. The current election, if signed by him, it is going to be an act. That act is worse than what Jammeh did to Gambians in 22 years. So if one said the level playing ground is even more, more dangerous than before, I'm not even saying level. It's dangerous.
Interesting.
It's dangerous. So all what Jammeh was doing, Barrow triple it. Don't tell me he's not taking guns and kill. No, that doesn't mean it. If the laws exist that enable killing, that the same law maintained by somebody, that person is worse than the one who was using the gun to kill. Of course, Barrow is worse than Jammeh. Jammeh was called as a mistake by many. And Barrow said the Gambians land from Jammeh, Jammeh land. And then Barrow also land. Where's the lessons? Are they eaten by churro? So anyway, the status quo definitely is pathetic.
And then come back.
Yes.